Anzac Day is one of our most important national commemorative occasions. It marks the anniversary of the first major military action carried out by Australian and New Zealand forces during the First World War. When Britain declared war in the August of 1914, Australia, a nation only 13 years old at the time, was automatically placed on the side of the Commonwealth. We were at war. In 1915, Australian and New Zealand soldiers formed part of an expedition that set out to capture the Gallipoli Peninsula in order to open the Dardanelles to Allied navies. The ultimate objective was to capture the capital of the German ally, the Ottoman Empire, today called Turkey. On the morning of the 25th of April 1915, the Australian New Zealand Army Corps, ANZAC, acted on this objective. However, upon landing at Gallipoli, the Australian New Zealand forces were met with fierce resistance from Ottoman Turkish defenders. Their plan to knock Turkey out of the war quickly became a stalemate, and the campaign dragged on for 8 long months. At the end of 1915, the Allied forces were evacuated. Both sides had suffered heavy casualties and endured great hardships. Over 8,000 Australian soldiers were killed. News of the landing at Gallipoli and the events that followed had profound impact on the Australians at home. The 25th of April soon became the day on which Australians remember the sacrifices of those who had died in war. The Anzacs were courageous, and although the Gallipoli campaign had failed in its military objectives, the Australian and New Zealand actions during the campaign left us all with a powerful legacy. What is now known as the Anzac legend became an important identity of both nations. Today, Anzac does not only commemorate the soldiers who died at Gallipoli, but also all Australians who have died in military operations since, and all military operations since. Most members of our Portside Christian College community likely have ancestors who are Anzacs or family who serve in the ADF today, Australian Defence Force. Even if you cannot personally relate, it is a good opportunity to show this sense of mateship and respect to one another and to those who got us to where we are today. We mustn't take for granted our blessings. It is important that we are grateful for those who came before us and who allow us to live in a world that we are in today, to allow us to live in the world that we are today. Even in a time like this with new challenges like COVID-19, we are grateful to be in a country where we have such blessings and access to support, which is a result of the brave sacrifices of soldiers and members of our community who have put in so much. Thank you.
My name's Amy Mayer, and I will be reading the poem In Flanders Fields by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. In Flanders fields the poppies blow, between the crosses row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks, still bravely singing, fly scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Hi everyone, it's Mr. Gillard here. I'm the Creative Arts and Performing Arts Director here at Portside Christian College, and I teach music from Year 7 to Year 12 for those of you that don't know me. I'm about to play the last post for you, which is a trumpet piece which is always played at Anzac Day. The last post actually signifies the end of the day for the soldiers and would have been played with the trumpet at the soldiers' camp so that they knew that it was the end of the day and they could pack down and get ready to go off for their rest for the night. But it's also played at funerals and at Anzac Day to remember those that have fallen, those that have died in war. Because it's sort of like the end of their duties. They get a chance to go and rest with Jesus after they've died, and so the last post sort of signifies that. I've played the last post quite a few times at different things. Here's one that I once did. I did a few years ago when I was walking the Hyson Trail up at Hawker. You can see there it's right on the edge of the desert, and even though it was cloudy, the Flinders Rangers were all in behind there. That was at dawn, and it was just a beautiful event. Playing the last post there on that special occasion for Anzac Day. Anyway, let me play the last post for you now as we remember and spend some time thinking of those that have given their lives in war for us so that we can have this free country that we live in now.